Carolyn Dube here. Today I'm playing in my art journal, and it all started with a jelly print that I'd rubber stamped on. And it was all way too busy, so I had a busy rubber stamp and a busy jelly print, and it was just whoa too much for me to handle. So I decided to push back some of it. And that's where this art journal page starts, and in the process of this, a message is revealed to me from my art journal.
Well, it's no secret how much I love a good jelly print. And when you've got lots of wonderful color all over the place, what can you do with it? Well, one of the things is to slap a big old wonderful rubber stamp on here, and this one's from Dilutions, but it's a whole lot of busy happening. So how am I going to go all around all of that detail on this stamp? Well, first of all, I'm not going to go around it perfectly, as you can tell by the way I'm doing this. And second, I'm going to use a white paint pen. That way I have some control over the detail of it. And then I'm just going to white out and block out all the other stuff so that the color is left on her. Now, at this point, I thought I was just playing around and having fun. But little did I know where I put that stamp and how it all came about actually had a very important message for me. So the stamp I was drawn to, and I love the fact that she says survivor on her. And as I was putting the black lines around it to sort of bring back some of the definition that I lost from my sloppy white paint penning, I realized that she had this chin, and it's kind of like she's taken one on the chin, but she's still a survivor. Well, she had to become an art journal page for me. So I just trimmed up that jelly print, slathered on some gel medium on an art journal, and I slapped her right in there. And yes, I missed all the edges, but well, I do that all the time, so I'm just going to slap a little more gel medium on it. And to really make sure that she stays down all the way, I'm going to put that jar right on top of her while I go and grab a couple of other things. Well, I've got a permanent black ink pad here and a stencil. This one's from Mary Nasser, and it's called Map Symbols. And I've got a piece of cut and dry foam, if my tongue will work, that I am using to apply some permanent ink right through the stencil. So I've got her directions there, and I'm really drawn to this true north arrow that Mary has on the stencil. So I'm going to put that right there because right next to her, she's keeping track of her true north. No matter how many directions there are, she's got that true north, because when she takes it on the chin, because she knows which way is true north, she will always be a survivor. And right off camera, that's what I'm going to try and capture with that little bit of journaling that I'm putting there. Hopefully I'll be able to keep her on camera the rest of the time here. Well, I've got this and it feels nice, and I could stop here, but why? I'm having fun, I'm playing, I'm going to put some more stuff on this. Well, what am I going to put on her? I am going to grab some colored pencil, and I haven't grabbed a colored pencil in what feels like forever, so I'm just going to follow that instinct and do a whole bunch of scribble journaling all over the place to kind of capture the feelings that I've got as I'm making this art journal page. And this whole north, south, east, west, travel map kind of feeling will work perfectly with this rubber stamp that I've got that's also from Mary Nasser to create a border and edge there. There was just way too much white space to make me happy. But I was kind of missing that colored pencil too, so we'll do a little outlining with that, and then it's going to be back to some color and some paint, because those globes are saying to me, I want some color. So I'm going to oblige them. I'm going to do that for them and fill them up with lots and lots of color. And as long as I have a paintbrush and more paint than I actually needed, I'm going to end up putting that paint wherever I have the impulse to put it. So there's a little more color everywhere because there just wasn't enough color yet, right? Well, she just didn't feel finished to me yet. So I decided to bring in my Wall of Words stencil from over at Stencil Girl, that piece of cut and dry foam and that ink pad that I already had out from working with Mary's stencil. I'm just going to use that to stencil around some of the words. Now you'll notice I keep peeking and checking because, well, with something like this where it's such a dry medium, I'm going to have to really push in there sometimes to get it to show up because I don't have a ton of ink on that piece of cut and dry foam because it's, well, a piece of cut and dry foam. So as I'm doing this, I'm holding that stencil with one hand and able to peek and see if it's exactly what I was going for. And it is turning out just like I wanted, a very loose, spattering, smattering of sort of ghosty words here and there on her. So the hints of it, but not really dark and bold. Well, thanks for joining me for today's play in the art journal. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you subscribed to my YouTube channel and stopped over at my blog and signed up for my free newsletter because I have a downloadable video and PDF waiting for you. Thanks for being a part of this colorful journey.